Monday night. Washington, D.C. CareFirst Arena. Indiana walked in hurting. 5 losses in 7 games. A shooting slump that had Clark sitting at 37% from the field. Back-to-back losses to Golden State and New York. People were starting to talk. Was this team for real? Did they have the chemistry? Did they have the coaching? But here's the number nobody was talking about. The last time these two teams played, May 15th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Clark dropped 32 points. Hit a game-tying 3 with 1.7 seconds left to force overtime. Indiana still lost. By 2 points. She had been waiting for this rematch ever since. Washington wasn't in great shape either. Coming in at 4-5. Fresh off a 109-77 blowout loss to Atlanta. So bad that head coach Sydney Johnson got ejected for going at the officials. 2 struggling teams. 1 building. 1 game. And a moment nobody in that arena will forget for a long, long time. Let's get into it. From the very first possession, Clark looked like a completely different player. Pull-up jumper. Her own offensive rebound. Then a 25-footer to push the lead to 7. The aggression was back. The purpose was back. You could feel it in that building immediately. Washington kept fighting. Bet scored inside. Austin converted a cutting layup to trim it to 2. But Indiana had an answer every single time. Clark stole the ball in the open floor and converted the layup. Boston added 1. Billings got to the line and delivered. Then Clark closed out the quarter the right way. A step-back 3 from 25 feet with the shot clock winding down. 2 free throws off a foul. 10 points in the first quarter alone. Her best opening period in weeks. Indiana led 21-16 after 1. And earned every single point of it. The second quarter? Indiana turned it up even more. The lead grew all the way to 17. Mitchell buried a step-back 3 to make it 33-20. Clark set up Hines Allen on a cut. Cunningham knocked down a 3 to push it to 38-23. The Fever were sharp. Washington had no answers. But the Mystics chipped away late. McMahon hit a driving layup. A cutting layup off an assist brought it closer. Indiana's lead came down from 17-14 at halftime. 43-29, still comfortable on paper. But Washington had found something. And they were carrying that energy into the locker room. The third quarter is where things got scary. Amore hit back-to-back 3s off turnovers. Onyenwere knocked 1 down to cut it to 11. Bet scored twice more off turnovers. Citron added a turnaround jumper. Then Amore hit another 3. 58-53, under 2 minutes left in the quarter. Indiana's 17-point lead? Down to 5. Clark had 3 turnovers in the quarter alone. Boston was dealing with foul trouble. Indiana's defense, which had been excellent all first half, suddenly had no answers. Cunningham hit a 3 to push it back to 12 briefly. But that was the last real breathing room Indiana would have for a while. Boston converted 2 free throws at the buzzer to end the quarter. Indiana took a 60-53 lead into the fourth. 7 points. Washington had all the momentum. And they were not done. Fourth quarter. Washington came out swinging. Onyenwere hit a layup to cut it to 4. Hull answered with a 3 to push it back to 7. But the Mystics had 6 different players score in the first 5 minutes of the fourth. 6. From a team that had looked completely outmatched in the first half. Citron buried a 3. Cut it to 2. Boston responded with back-to-back field goals to push it to 6. And then everything unraveled. Onyenwere hit a 3. Then hit 2 free throws. Then Austin, driving hard off a Citron feed with 41 seconds left, converted the layup. Washington 74, Indiana 73. The Mystics had come all the way back from 17 down to take the lead in the final minute. The exact same nightmare from May 15th, playing out all over again. Clark missed 2 free throws with 36 seconds left. CareFirst Arena was electric. But then Boston made the biggest play of the game. She stole the ball from Austin with 15 seconds left. Clark immediately found Mitchell cutting to the basket. Layup. Indiana back in front. 75-74, 11 seconds left. 1 stop. That's all they needed. Hull fouled Citron with 4 seconds left. Citron hit both free throws. Washington leads. 76-75, 4 seconds on the clock. Indiana called timeout. The play was drawn up. Clark started on the baseline, ran a decoy screen for Hall. Confused Washington's entire defense. Boston set a screen on the far wing. Cunningham lofted a cross-court inbound. McMahon gambled for the steal. Missed completely. And Clark, standing 31 feet from the basket, all alone, 1.2 seconds on the clock, caught the ball, set her feet, and let it fly. Nothing but net. 78-76. Indiana wins. And then she walked straight toward McMahon. And let her know it. Because of course she did. This is Clark and McMahon. Iowa and Ohio State. A rivalry born in the Big Ten that followed both of them all the way to the pros. Clark once grabbed a free Ohio State t-shirt after an Iowa win and posed with it. The photo went viral. Buckeyes fans were furious. McMahon responded with a pointed post-game interview after Ohio State got their revenge the following year. And now Clark had buried a game winner in her face on national television. Big Ten rivalries never die. Final score. Indiana Fever 78, Washington Mystics 76. Indiana moves to 6-5. Clark finished with 19 points, 5 assists, and the first game-winning buzzer beater of her entire WNBA career. Something she did regularly at Iowa. Never as a professional. Until Monday night in Washington. 7 of 16 from the field. 4 of 10 from 3. Not her best night statistically. But it ended with the most important shot of the 2026 WNBA season so far. She said it perfectly post-game. Nobody's gonna look back and be like, the Fever probably should have lost this game but made a buzzer beater. It's a W. It's a win for us. Boston finished with 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and the defensive steal that started it all. Mitchell had 15 and was efficient all night. Cunningham had 8 off the bench, and threw the inbound pass that freed Clark for the shot. Every single Indiana player on the floor in that final minute made a play that mattered. For Washington, Onyenware led with 17 and was the engine of their entire comeback. Amore and Citron each had 12. Austin had 10 points and 9 rebounds. On another night, that Citron free throw with 4 seconds left wins the game. Against almost any other player in the league, it would have been enough.